everyone for coming out, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of the festival. My last song was composed by Jim Payne and Janice Spence, and it's called Wave Over Wave. Oh, me name's Abel Rogers, a chairman am I, on a three-masted schooner from Twillingate Isle. I've lived the world over, north, south, east, and west, but the middle of it nowhere's where I likes it best, where it's wave over wave, sea over bow. I'm as happy a man as the sea will allow. There's no other life for a sailor like me but to sail the salt sea, boys, sail the sea. There's no other life but to sail the salt sea. The work it is hard and the hours are long, but my spirit is willing, my back it is strong. And when the work's over, the whiskey will pour, we'll dance with the girls upon some foreign shore, where it's wave over wave, sea over bow. I'm as happy a man as the sea will allow. There's no other life for a sailor like me but to sail the salt sea, boys, sail the sea. There's no other life but to sail the salt sea. I leave my wife only 10 months of the year, for she built me a home and raised my children dear. She never came out to bid farewell to me, or ken why a sailor must sail the salt sea, where it's wave over wave, sea over bow. I'm as happy a man as the sea will allow. There's no other life for a sailor like me but to sail the salt sea, boys, sail the sea. There's no other life but to sail the salt sea. I've sailed the wide ocean for decades or more, and oft times I wonder why I do it for. I don't know the answer, it's pleasure and pain, but with a life to live over, I do it again, where it's wave over wave, sea over bow. I'm as happy a man as the sea will allow. There's no other life for a sailor like me but to sail the salt sea, boys, sail the sea. There's no other life but to sail the salt sea. Well, I can't complain. I haven't had it as hard as some, God knows. And for the bit of time you've been around in our married life, well, you've been a good man. I remember the year we were married. It was a good year. You were working for my father, and it seemed to me I had you all to myself every minute of every day. I think that was the happiest year of my life. But by the springtime of the following year, just after my birthday it was, you had got to be itching for something, and in no time at all, you had gone down and you'd signed up on the Mary Eleanor. It was then that I knew I was married to a sailor. I couldn't even bring myself to go down and say goodbye to you. Now, I'm not complaining. We've always had a roof over our heads, and we've never wanted for very much. I always said now that we've never had it as hard as May. Well, her husband, Jack, he'd only been home 1 or 2 days out of every year. That's when he was working on the coastal boats. My dear, when he'd get home on the Prospero, she'd have to go down and get him, because he'd be too blind drunk to make his way home by himself. And I'll never forget the night I was down to Nan's, the night Poppy Rogers came home. Poppy Rogers, gone 11 years. We hadn't heard a word from him. We didn't know what happened to him. Sure, we give him up for dead. Well, that night, Nan just looked out the window and saw him coming up the path, and all she said was, "Put the kettle on, Frank's home." But I do wish you'd been there with me when Gary died. My God, that was a hard winter. The flu. Epidemic proportions, they had said on the radio. I remember the night Mom and I laid him up. Oh, your mother was there too. I think Gary was her favorite, really. Anyway, that night I sat up with him. I sat up in that big old chair your brother made, and I must have dozed off because around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I woke up. And just for an instant, you were there. You were bending over and kissing his cheek. Well, you were back in port 6 months later, and you gave me Kevin. And Kevin had the croup. He coughed and he bawled for a solid year straight. He had me raftered, he had me clear, drove off me head. Then the following year, you were only home for a week. I got Rose out of that visit. But you've always sent me lovely presents. Sometimes a year goes by and I have no word, no letters or such, but always bits and pieces from here, there, and everywhere. A lovely shawl arrived for me in the mail today. 3 yards of beautiful colored silk. I wonder where it's from. Spain? Morocco? Someplace I've never been to. Ah, it's gorgeous. It puts me in mind of warm winds and people speaking in foreign tongues. But sure, where am I going to wear it? I suppose now I'll wear it when I go digging up a few turnips in the garden or making some soap at a lie. I'll go light the candle for you now. It'll always be in the window to guide you home. I'll always be here for you, God willing. You know, for the bit of time you've been around in our married life, you're the only man I ever had. You're the only man I ever wanted. Where it's wave over wave, sea over bow, I'm as happy a man as the sea will allow. There's no other life for a sailor like me but to sail the salt sea, boys, sail the sea. There's no other life but to sail the salt sea. Sail the salt sea, boys, sail the sea. There's no other life but to sail